Welcome back. What if More's empire never collapsed? By 476 AD, More's western half was finished. Barbarian invasions tore apart cities, roads, trade routes. Knowledge vanished. Cities emptied. Europe plunged into 1,000 years of medieval darkness. But imagine the gates held instead. One stronger army, one brilliant general who understood More's rote. The empire's real enemy, waste barbarians. It was paralysis. Corrupt officials bled the treasury dry. The army couldn't pay soldiers. Soldiers deserted. Borders crumbled because More itself had already crumbled inside. Now picture a reformer who fixes that first. Imagine she ruthlessly purged every corrupt official, rebuilt the grain supply system that had collapsed, paid soldiers on time every time. With a loyal fed army, she could actually hold the borders. The invasions slow, then stop. Cities, font empty. Trade routes, font vanish. Knowledge stays alive because the libraries stay standing. And that changes everything that comes next. A scribe in Constantinople copies a text on mathematics that would have been lost. In Baghdad, a merchant network still connects Silk roads to distant ports. Roman law codes evolve instead of crumbling. Picture a scholar 200 years later. She has access to texts on engineering, medicine, astronomy that vanished in our world. She invents something new. By 1200, the empire's universities rival anything in the Islamic world. The technology gap never widens. By 1450, More's descendants command the seas themselves. Portuguese explorers never sailed down Fricassee coast, because More's fleets already own those trade routes. Instead, imagine a Genoese captain sailing west under More's imperial banner. The Americas rent unknown lands. They're More's next frontier. The indigenous people face not isolated raiders, but an organized, disciplined continental military machine. Roman legions plant settlements from the Atlantic to the Pacific. A native empire might have said, "Way!" More comes with roads and grain shipments and laws. By 1500, the Atlantic becomes a Roman lake. Europe never splinters into nation-states fighting each other. No 100 Years' War, no 30 Years' War, no industrial revolution fought over coal and colonies. Instead, a unified technological advance. Steam engines, electricity, railways all emerge from a single coordinated Roman academy system. By 1700, More doesn't face a rival superpower. It governs the world unopposed. A Roman aqueduct pumps water powered by steam pressure alone. No rival empires meant no arms race. Instead, More controls the pace. Electricity doesn't race for profit. It spreads on state command. By 1750, Roman engineers build the first electric grid. The technology never stalls. No dark age interrupts it. Instead, More industrializes steadily, methodically, without interruption. By 1800, Roman cities run on electric power entirely. But this stability has a cost. More never faces a challenge? No. Rival pushes it forward. Stagnation hides behind the facade of perfect technological order. 1,000 years pass. The same aqueducts carry water, the same roads connect, the same Senate debates. Nothing breaks, nothing improves. An engineer in Alexandria imagines a new watermill design, but the council rejects it. The old ways work fine, they tell him. Across the empire, the pattern repeats. A physician discovers a remedy. Forbidden by law, risk execution. Merchants want to trade outside borders. Blocked. More only needs itself. Meanwhile, beyond More's walls, the world transforms. China experiments, invents, breaks limits. Islam rises, creates universities, preserves Greek knowledge More abandoned. By 800 CE, Islam scholars had translated 10,000 books. Medicine advanced while Europe still died of treatable wounds. The mathematician Al-Khwarizmi created what we call algebra. Europe had no word for it. Meanwhile, the Roman ghost still ruled the mind. Monks copied Roman books word for word, century after century, but they never asked why. Moray's libraries had burned. Its universities had closed. Its schools had fallen silent. Europe's monks preserved more, but could not build on it. Islam did both at once. By 1000 CE, Bighead's hospitals had wards beds and trained doctors. More's physicians still relied on bloodletting and guesswork. A Roman emperor might have learned differently. He ruled from Constantinople, hub of 3 continents. Every ship carried ideas alongside pepper and silk. Imagine a scholar there who read Arabic texts on anatomy. She saw no reason More should remain in darkness. The emperor listened. He sent envoys to Baghdad. They returned with texts on surgery, chemistry, mathematics. By 1050 CE, More's first hospital opened. It had wards-trained physicians record-keeping, not because More invented it, but because it chose to learn. That choice rippled forward. A student from Baghdad visited More in 1075. He watched Roman doctors use written notes to track which treatments worked. He brought that idea home to Baghdad. By 1100, hospitals across 3 continents were keeping patient records the Roman way. But the real shift wasn't in medicine alone. More began asking, what else could we improve? Roman engineers studied Arab irrigation. They built aqueducts that fed larger harvests. Population in Italy rose by 1/3 in 50 years. More people meant more workers, more builders, more ideas pushed into the marketplace. A blacksmith in More tested new forge designs. Stronger steel meant better plows and sharper tools. By 1150, More waste just surviving. It was innovating at a pace unmatched in Europe. And that momentum would define centuries to come. Imagine the master craftsman who first forged a plow blade that could bite deeper into frozen soil. That single tool rippled outward. Villages that once struggled suddenly fed themselves 3 seasons instead of 2. By 1200, More's population reached 8 million. More people meant more minds, thinking, more hands, experimenting, more schools, spreading knowledge. The watermill refined and perfected ground grain for 20 cities at once. By 1250, Roman roads carried not soldiers but merchants, scholars and pilgrims, trading ideas. More had become something no empire had managed, stable enough to innovate for centuries. And the world changed forever because one moment, one choice never happened.